Okay, here's the setup. I'm going to try and do this test where I can catch most of my brass without moving everything. I want to leave that chronograph sitting there. We'll shoot down here. We're at 30 yards. We're at 30 feet down here. So here, I'm going to shoot with my muzzle at 10 feet. Where are you? 8 feet. 6 feet. Then muzzle at 4 feet. Maybe I ought to go to 3. I don't know. I'll figure that out when we get down here. I got to see the results. So what we're looking at is that's about my sight picture right there. So let me get on with this thing. All right, let's see if we can get her done here. I'm starting at 10 feet from that chronograph. I'm using a 45 ACP, so I'm not throwing flames out the front. So you'll have to kind of think of the weapon that you're using and extrapolate what all this means to you, because the more magnum the weapon, the further out you're going to see that gas ball, like old Kenny and some of the fireballs he's been shooting. So, okay, let's get going here. All right, back in the shop, back in the shade. Let's have a look at these numbers. I noticed when I reviewed this last bit of video that the closer I got to the chronograph, the faster I start shooting. Of course, that comes from, being closer, the spread inside of this, what do you call those sticks in the canopy tops? Anyway, it gets bigger. You get more confident, so you wrap them off in a hurry. So let's just look at them one at a time. We'll look at the ES, SD, and average, but nothing makes any difference here about this ammo. This is just my Plinken ammo that I've made on the lock and load press, and it's just for practice. So it's nothing custom at all. It's what you guys would call plinkers. Let's just look at the average for the distance that I'm shooting, okay? That's what I'm trying to show. So here we go. Review. High 887, low 856, average 868. Stream spread 24, standard deviation 10. All right, just a decent Plinken load. Here we go. Let's go to that one. I should have said before was at 10 feet. I'm going to change the string, and we'll be shooting from 8 feet, muzzle to this very first sensor up here. Different numbers. Okay, basically the same. Let's change strings. I'll be at 6 feet on this string. Oh, look at this. Look at that. Kind of screws up all the figures when you're looking at the numbers. We had 2 shots there at 6 feet. And I'm telling you what caused that is the gases that escape at the muzzle at the same time the base of the projectile clears the muzzle face. Those gases race ahead and they trip this first sensor right here. After that, I got no idea how it's getting that number other than it's a false trip. Let's see, where are we at now? We're at 4 feet, string change. $11.95. We've seen 11s before in my videos. $11.85. Look how close that is. $11.86. Look how close that is. It's making you think you got a good load here. $11.88. $11.88. High $11.95. Low $143. Obviously that's an error. That's an error. All right, that pretty much proves it to me that when I've been doing these test tube hollow point test and shooting with the chrono between me and the front of the tube, I have been too close. I have been around that 4 foot area from the chronograph when I made those shots. So I've got to go back now and somehow explain to everybody in test 1 and test 2, I think that's as far as it went, that these 1100 numbers for a 200 grain hollow point out of a 45 ACP are total bullshit. Total bullshit. So that's what today's test is all about, to figure out why did I believe that in the first place? Well, because I had tunnel vision testing those hollow points. I was so focused on other things, other criteria, when I'm running them down the tube, that I'm not even thinking about the distance I am from that chronograph. And boys, this is basic. This is absolutely basic. So you gotta, even though the chronograph at 10 feet from you with a standard pistol like my 45 ACP seems like you're shooting through a small hole, if you got a target back there, if you got the target framed in this whole shittery right here in the target center you're shooting at, say at the bottom of the globe there, you don't have to worry about hitting that chronograph. You don't have to worry about that. Just get the chronograph out of your mind. Do your string test and get it over with. But by golly, do not sneak up on that chronograph because the opening looks bigger when you're closer, because it's going to lie to you. And you can see that in this test, it lied to us, and it did it just like a string of really fast bullets. Okay, well, that's the end of it. I don't know much else to say about it at the moment. I got to mull on this a while and then go put it in some kind of video format. All right, that's it. Take it easy out there, boys. Watch that family. Watch those neighbors. And by God, keep that head on a swivel and watch that 6.
Lazy bone, sleeping in the sun. How you expect to get your day's work done? You never get your day's work done. Sleeping in the noonday sun. Lazy bone, sleeping in the shade. How you expect to get your cornmeal made? you never get your cornmeal made. Sleeping in the noonday shade, and when the taters need spraying, I bet you keep praying that the bug fall off of the vine.